Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man tabi'a sunnati ila yawmiddin. All praise be to Allah, the Rabb of the worlds. Blessings and peace be upon our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, upon his family, his companions, and whoever follows the sunnah till the day of judgment. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone, and welcome to Hand Speeches. Amidst one of the most dedicated and largest seasons we have ever had, the stories of the prophets, were in the life of a very, very important prophet's nephew named Lut alayhi salam and his life in a place called Sodom. We also explained yesterday in the last session how Lut alayhi salam started his life in Sodom and the mischief that the people of Sodom were doing. In the previous sessions before that, we discussed about lives of prophets like Adam alayhi salam, Nuh alayhi salam, Ibrahim alayhi salam, etc. Please click the playlist link in the description below. If you haven't watched any of these videos, navigate yourself and you can find your desired video there. In today's session, we'll be discussing and completing the life of Lut alayhi salam. Stay tuned and you're watching the stories of the prophets. So we stopped at the point where Lut alayhi salam asks dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we concluded yesterday's session by telling that we will be discussing the dua and what happened after the dua in today's session. Well, surprisingly, the dua is not some big dua. It's a very, very ordinary dua. And the dua asked by Lut alayhi salam was, "O Allah, please protect me and my family from such naughtiness of those people." We discussed about the time in Ibrahim alayhi salam's life that 3 angels would come to Ibrahim alayhi salam for 2 duties. 1, to give him the good news about his new son named Ishaq, and 2, to destroy the people of Lut. This is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted the dua that Lut alayhi salam asked. Protection, only way of protection from such people is by destroying them. Lut alayhi salam also said that. So these 3 angels are on their way of destroying Lut alayhi salam. So these 3 angels go towards Sodom in north, which is somewhere near Jordan, Dead Sea, that area. So once the 3 angels had gone to Sodom, Lut alayhi salam's daughters were the first to see them. They were very, very handsome men. Well, as per the habits of the people of Sodom, if anyone was traveling, they would do whatever they want with them. Plus, these men were very, very handsome, and the people would fall for such men. So, first, when the 2 daughters of Lut alayhi salam spotted this men, they went and immediately told their father, Lut alayhi salam, "Oh father, there are 3 men walking, let's go save them, otherwise something really bad might happen to them." Lut alayhi salam immediately agrees. He goes to those people and tries to convince them, "Would you be my guest for tonight? I will serve you everything." He tries to convince them to get them into their house so that nothing happens to them. While they are going to their house, somehow the 3 men get convinced. While they are going to the house, Lut alayhi salam keeps on telling these people, "These people are the worst people in the world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's worst creation ever is these people. These people are very naughty." He's trying to discourage the thought of these people in those 3 men. Well, those 3 men are all knowing, they are angels. I mean, not all knowing, but they know about this matter, they are angels. But these 3 angels were really, really happy because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told these angels, only destroy them if Lut alayhi salam bears witness that they are actually really, really bad. So they were happy that they came and their job is going to be done. But still, Lut alayhi salam is continuously saying to them, these people are really, really bad people. Somehow he's telling them, why did you even come here? You should not come here, you should go away. This was the indirect message Lut alayhi salam was conveying unto those three men. Well, he was conveying not just to ignore them, but he was conveying them for their own betterment and safety. So somehow he managed to sneak them to the house. Lut alayhi salam is now happy that no one has ever seen them. Well, there's an ayah in the Quran. There were two wives of the prophets. The wife of Nuh alayhi salam and the wife of Lut alayhi salam, who betrayed their own husbands. We are not very sure about how Nuh alayhi salam's wife had betrayed him, but how Lut alayhi salam's wife betrayed him, we're going to show you now. Lut alayhi salam's wives had collaborated with the bad people of Sodom. When Lut alayhi salam was happy that when they were sneaking into the house no one had seen them, he definitely told his wife and daughters. But his wife, she went up to those men in Sodom, and not those three men, she went up to the people in Sodom and said, do you know Lut alayhi salam has brought three very, very handsome men inside their house? Those people get really happy and they convey the message to each other. Do you know there's three handsome men? Do you know there's three handsome men? The message keeps on spreading from one person to then to 2, and then to 4, and then to 16, and then to 256, and then, it just spreads over the whole community. And those people get really, really agitated and they come towards Lut alayhi salam's house. Well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran that not 1,000 people, not 2,000 people, but the whole community, all of Sodom, all the men together had come to Lut alayhi salam, and then they started banging on the door. Well, they all know that this would give them happiness and they wanted a share of it, although there were only 3 men. Lut alayhi salam answered the door. Why are you embarrassing me in front of my guests? Can't you see they're my guests? Well, those men saw them. And they were like, oh Lut alayhi salam, move away. Though Lut alayhi salam still tried to speak up to them, the same statement in different manners. They're my guests, don't embarrass me in front of them. I will get my daughters married to you. Well, he did not mean his direct daughters, he meant the daughters of the Ummah, that is the women. You can do this with them, why do you want to do it with my guests? Lut alayhi salam, this was his statement. And those men replied, oh Lut, we know we are not interested in girls, you know what we want. This is the exact statement. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned it in the Quran. You know what we want was the exact sentence uttered towards Lut alayhi salam. And the whole community was there. They were trying to push their way in to Lut alayhi salam's house. Lut alayhi salam tried to convince that they were his guests. And they had made a law. They said, oh Lut, did we not tell you you can't host anyone in your house? You can see how harsh they were against Lut alayhi salam. Now Lut alayhi salam was almost, defeated in that conversation, and he was about to get overturned into his house. He could not do anything. He was asking Allah for protection. He said, just now, if I wish I had some males or some strong power to oppose me. And he was almost broken down. And that's when those 3 angels replied, we are the angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As long as we are here, nothing can happen to you. You don't worry. Now Lut alayhi salam had got his assurance. And now the big punishment had come towards the people of Sodom. Well, we discussed about massive punishments in the past, where they were destroyed to smithereens. For example, the massive floods with Nuh alayhi salam, this amazing wind with the people of Hud alayhi salam, and that cracking sound with the people of Thamud. Well, this punishment was 3 times worse than any other punishment. At least, with Nuh alayhi salam and Hud alayhi salam, the punishment was only once, the flooding and the wind. Unfortunately, with the people of Thamud, it was twice. One, the changing of the color of the face, and second, the sound. Here, it was 3 times. Allah had punished them 3 times just to show how bad these people were and how grave these sins that they committed were. Firstly, the cracking sound once again, just like to the people of Thamud, the people of Sodom also experienced that sound. It was so loud that they started shaking and they dropped down. Secondly, Allah asked Jibreel alayhi salam to come back to his original form. Well, the surprising fact is that Jibreel alayhi salam was one of those three angels who visited Lut alayhi salam and Ibrahim alayhi salam. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam explains how big angel Jibreel alayhi salam is. He has 600 wings, and each wing is as long as from the east all the way to the west. So from the manly, appearance, Jibreel alayhi salam becomes his giant original form, giant wings, and the people become so scared. They were already done. So what he does, with the tip of one wing, he puts it under the ground and lifts the whole community in one wing. And what he does, topples it. The whole committee becomes upside down and the people are crushed. And still one more punishment. But you can imagine, first the sound, and then upside down, bottoms up, up's bottom. You can imagine the suffering that the people had experienced. And third, they were giant stones. Stone is something that's small, a piece of rock, and a rock is something that's very giant. Allah sent giant stones. That means stones which are very, very large, but not as large as a rock would be. Allah had said those were baked rocks. That means rocks that were made out of hardened and dried clay. And in each rock, the name of each and every individual of Sodom was engraved. For example, Sodom had 600 people. Then all 600 people's names were written in each and every rock. That means not 600 in one rock, one person, one rock. And those rocks were dropped from the sky. And then whenever people were stood up, one rock would fall on their head. And the second one would see it. And then suddenly the second one, and the third one, and fourth one. And within a matter of seconds, the whole community of Sodom was destroyed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had saved Lut alayhi salam and his two daughters. Well, before this incident happened, the angels told Lut alayhi salam to leave as far as they could, because they said the last minute that these people are going to experience would be before dawn. So just go as far as you can, as fast as you can. So Lut alayhi salam took both of his daughters and went. And those angels told Lut alayhi salam not even to look back at these people, because these people were very, very bad people. Well, there are two instances. Here, the wife of Lut alayhi salam had come with Lut alayhi salam, but she turned back. And secondly, the wife joined these people and she did not even come with Lut alayhi salam. This is what happened in Lut alayhi salam. And though all those who deserved to be safe had left the place and had become safe. And now the whole community was destroyed. And when the rocks were falling, within a matter of seconds, on everyone's head there was a rock. And MashaAllah, I don't know what to say, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also mentions that there was a rock in which Lut alayhi salam's wife's name was also written. That is that is the punishment you get for doing such grave mistakes. Today, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has still left the remains of this place of Sodom just to show people that if you do such grave mistakes, this is the punishment you're going to face in hellfire. This place known as the Dead Sea, you can still see these rocks with names carved on it. And that was the life of Lut alayhi salam. Inshallah, in the next session of the story of the Prophet, we will be discussing about Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam, also known as Jacob in the English language. And we'll also be giving a sneak peek about his son Yusuf alayhi salam. This is the lineage of Ibrahim alayhi salam, Ishaq alayhi salam, then comes Yaqub alayhi salam, and then his son Yusuf alayhi salam. We'll be discussing about Yaqub alayhi salam and a tiny bit of Yusuf alayhi salam in the next session of the stories of the prophets. Until then, that's our video, guys. If you liked our video, please like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell icon and leave your thoughtful comments in the comment section below. Please click the in-video links to subscribe and watch another video which comes a little bit later on the video. Thank you very much for watching, friends. Jazakumullahu khairan. Subhanakallahumma hamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Thanks for putting your hearty views to this video, and please try to make Hand Speeches one of the most farthest reaching channels by sharing our channel and our videos. Please don't forget to watch any other Hand Speeches and videos and the videos of the stories of the prophets. Inshallah, in the next session we'll meet up with the life of Yaqub alayhi salam. Until next time.